What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. You know, I've been going to Rod Run since I was probably 13 years old. And I love it up in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Always a lot of cool cars to buy, always a lot of cool cars to look at. The car show's fun, swap meet, buying parts, buying wheels. I love Rod Run. They have it twice a year, spring and fall. We just came back from the spring run. And this year we actually hosted the Hot Rod After Party, or actually the Rod Run After Party. It did good. And brought my buddy Travis Bell down. Travis Bell's never experienced Rod Run. And it's so neat to see people that aren't from the South come down and see how we do things. And this year was a little crazy, especially for the spring run. It got a little out of hand, got a little crazy, got a little wild. We had a lot of fun. Naturally, when I go out of town, I go all out. I'm not all about them hotels on the strip because I'll be honest with you, that's the quickest way to catch something in Tennessee that you will take home with you. So we always rent a nice house, have a good place to stay. And I mean, the whole crew comes in, you got Matt and Kobe and of course Travis coming in. So guys, a nice house right off the strip. That way everybody's got somewhere to sleep. And of course, luxury accommodations. Well, when you rent these houses like off Airbnb, you're just going out of pictures. Well, we get there first, I get there before anybody. Actually, Kobe gets there before me, but Kobe ain't come in the house yet. So I walk into the house first, and we had one problem. We've got all these guys, and we have bunk beds, and they counted bunk beds as two. So basically, that put Kobe Kai and Travis Bell sleeping on bunk beds, being bunk mates. But Travis was no stranger to jailhouse bunk beds, so he said, hey, it's just like home. And then of course, Kobe always, when we go out of town, Kobe is the master chef. He tells us where all the good eating places are, but he always cooks breakfast. That's his thing. And Kobe Kai's breakfast is probably one of the highlights of going out of town because Kobe always rattles in pots and pans every morning. He just goes all out, big spread. So we had to go to the grocery store. And we're walking around the grocery store here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And keep in mind, this is 10 o'clock on a Thursday night. We're walking around at the Walmart. And little did I know, after talking to some locals, that this is one of the roughest Walmarts in the area. And we heard gunshots in the parking lot. I ain't scared, And we're over here poking fun at the airbrush shirts and getting some eggs and getting milk and getting coffee and getting bacon and sausage and Kobe telling us why fresh sausage is better than frozen sausage and biscuits and just yada yada, all this stuff. Everybody's little favorite things. So we stock the fridge up. So we get all this stuff and we're walking around. We got fans coming up to us in the Walmart. Of course, Travis Bell's like a rock star anyway. He's like my favorite bald guy on VinWiki. And he's actually the only bald guy on VinWiki that'll talk to me. So we're walking around, Travis Bell, Mr. Cool with his cannonball jacket on, Mr. Cool. We had a lot of fun, doing that. So we get back to the house and everybody figures out their sleeping arrangements. And I apologize to them right off the bat. I didn't feel sorry enough to give them the king, the master suite, but I did apologize. And I just said breakfast is on me. So anyway, we get back and we get settled in, Friday. We get up bright and early. Kobe just goes all out. I mean, it's just like waking up on Christmas morning. Just the smell of bacon and sausage and toast and God knows what else he's got going on in there. And it's just heavenly. Pot of coffee already made. Just the perfect way to start the day. Get going, get walking around. Well, my number one goal for this entire week is one, for the after party to go good, which check, we did. But the second thing was to stock up on some wheels. We're having a hard time getting wheels right now due to all the COVID BS. It's extremely hard getting wheels right now, especially, it takes weeks or you got to drive 3 states over to damn get them. And it's just a bunch of bullshit. So there's a lot of wheel vendors there and I bought every damn set of wheels I could possibly bring back. Buddy of mine calls me up. He goes, and I wasn't prepared to buy any cars or anything like that. Like I said, my dad's in the hospital. I just want to make it where if I had to leave, I could jump in my Silverado and bolt 2.5 hours down the road. Buddy calls me up. He goes, hey, I bought a Hummer and I'm having to leave early. Do you mind bringing it home for me? I'm like, well, we got enough warm bodies. Hell, we can get it back for you, whatever. I'm not buying anything. He said, well, just come by in the morning and pick up this H2 Hummer. Well, we pick up probably the biggest piece of shit H2 Hummer in the world. Every light on in the dash, door jar light, damn doors popping open on it going down the damn road. So anyway, I get this Thunder Turd parked and just try to forget about it. We did the after party later that night. It was phenomenal. Great turnout. A lot of fans came up, selfies, signing tags, had a blast. Travis playing the tunes from the boombox. Just had a phenomenal time. Me and Travis are such music aficionados. We're quizzing each other, back and forth. And I mean, I love it. And Travis just like my brother from another mother. We're just having a blast. We'll walk around the strip. And like I said, and actually the reason I want to film with this is already sold. I sold this just before I left. So like literally I closed the deal on this and then jumped in the truck and headed up the hill to Tennessee. So we get there and everybody's cruising. And see, you got to understand, Rod Run's changed. You got to think about when I first went to Rod Run, when I was, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old and coming up, even in my 20s, it was hot rods, street rods and 5, 6, 7 Chevrolets and Novas and Chevelles. And you had a few little Mustangs mixed in, but as a rule, it was old cars. Now it's changing. You got all the lifted trucks, and of course, the OBS craze is huge. They were everywhere, square bodies and all that. But then you got the big jacked up trucks. And of course, you got to understand when you got an event like this, Tennessee, Pigeon Forge and all your local municipalities come out in force because this is a revenue making weekend for them. Guys are going to act a fool. And, back in the day, everybody used to do burnouts and stuff like that. Now you got guys hanging out the door of their squatted truck with beads, yelling at girls to show them their boobs, and which was funny. And this is a true story. While we were there, actually, when I was buying a vehicle, there was a guy that said was hanging out of the side of a truck. So they're in the curb lane, and these females were in a Jeep in the middle lane. Well, there was a Tennessee trooper right behind them, like 2 cars back, and he's sitting out on the door sill of this truck, swinging beads like this and, yelling, show me your boobs or whatever. Well, little did he know, that chick that showed him her boobs was 15. She was underage. Blue lights. He got popped for something like, I forget what it was. Needless to say, he's on a sex offender list now. Warning. And that happened right in front of us. And then we're riding down the strip and we see this big pile of people at a Pilot gas station. And they're just like everybody bunched up, and come to find out, a guy in a 55 Chevrolet was sitting there pumping gas, and a dude in some big lifted truck with the tires sticking out caught the bumper of his car. Bent the bumper on a little bit, and they got into a little dispute. And the next thing you know, somebody pulled out a gun and started shooting up the damn Pilot station. I mean, it was friggin' nuts. And then, I saw a cop car that was in such a hurry to chase somebody down. They were pumping gas and took off and jerked the damn gas pump hose, the filler neck, out of the damn pump inside of the cop car. It was crazy, all the stuff. But even with all the crazy going on at Rod Run, the show was a great success. We had a blast. I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of looking forward to the fall run. And some of these guys, I don't think they're going to be out of jail till the fall run. And I see more people with cuffs on. It was nuts. And I guess kids will be kids. And we did dumb stuff when I was young. Didn't get arrested for it. But, that's the thing about Rod Run. On one hand, it kind of makes you a little sad because, it's not like it used to be. But then on the other hand, the young guys, some of these trucks were gorgeous, by the way. And that was another thing they were kicking. So Tennessee has a bumper height law. News to me. I thought jacked up trucks was a Tennessee thing. Apparently not. I think it's like 24 inches or something. If it's higher than that, they write you a ticket. They were taking these trucks and grounding them. They had to trailer or tow them out of there. They wouldn't let them drive them on public roads in Tennessee. It's friggin' nuts. All in all, Rod Run was fun. Travis didn't get shot. I didn't get shot. Matt didn't get shot. Kobe didn't get shot, although we thought he was hit one time. But anyway, it was a good time. We all came out alive, and I scored a gorgeous OBS truck, so I'll call it a win. Guys, we'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. What's going on, guys? And welcome to Rabbit's. Sorry, burp. That's why we can't have nice things. Right there. It's the very reason.
10:43.
Love it. And then we put all that B-roll video in there and all that shit. Done.